Yo, yo, yo. All right, starting early today, but it's going to be a bit of a marathon stream situation because I need to get these parts printing. Oh, so this is where we left off yesterday, and I think we're close, but there's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get the escapement mechanism working first, get that starting to print, and then hopefully we'll get to a point where we can start working on the damping mechanism as well. I thought about this last night, and there's a few things that I did wrong that we're gonna have to change. This angle, I think, is an issue because as this rotates, we need the angle of this to basically be. I was thinking having an angle would allow the escapement to, or the jack to pull away easier. That might be the case, but in this, I think at this aggressive of an angle, it will it'll push the jack out automatically as the cam rotates, if that makes any sense. But we're gonna fix that right now. So where was it? Is it right here? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So all I gotta do, I'm thinking we pull it like that. Pretty easy fix on that. And then it's frustrating. I should have. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I'm gonna do something else here because I want to actually start like visualizing the I want to start visualizing the actual mechanism operating here. So I'm seeing there's a chat, but I don't actually see the chat. I don't see anything. Yeah, nobody said anything. Okay, good. I'm not missing any. But the chat rate. Okay. Anyways, so let's start visualizing this. So I need to add a new component. We're gonna do a sketch on this platform. All I'm going to do is a circle. Essentially, this will represent sort of the frame of the kick drum. Boom. And I will lock this as our ground. I think I'm starting to understand how this whole new component system works. I still don't know if I like it though. It's kind of bums me out, but let me know if this is too quiet. I know I've been having issues with my volumes lately, which I have everything maxed, but might start using a condenser microphone for situations like this. Okay, relationships, as built joint, this to this, and this. Let's get rid of some of these sketches. Nice. So that rotates, this rotates independently. So one issue I was having is like the escapement mechanism needs to be on a separate pivot attached to these green cams here. I don't have a lot of space for screws, but I'm thinking if I get rid of some material of this, the blue cam, I could easily fit a screw there, but not on this side. So that's kind of the stuff I need to worry about. I don't really know what I'm going to do there. But I could have screws sticking out this way, have a chamfered bolt running through it. That would work as well. How do I do a contact? Contact. Enable contact sets. Enable all contact. See, that's not. That should contact. This should be contacting that. I don't know why that's not working. Enable contact sets. Yeah, why isn't that? Don't know. I really don't understand this. I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out later. It's not that big of a deal because I can just visualize it. So, right, so I need this to be able to pivot out and away. I think it makes sense for sort of the force, like the pivot should be here, so that the force is more perpendicular with this, as opposed to if the pivot was like on the actual axle, there'd be a lot of strain on that. So we want to do the force basically coming straight up, and then this pivots out of the way. So let's get rid of that. We don't need that. How do we do this right? And then once we kind of flesh it all out, then I can start removing material where I don't need material. This cam is in the way, though. Seeing like I can't, I wish I could cut away. I don't even remember. Pretty loopy today, so forgive me if I'm struggling to explain things properly. Okay, so let's just sketch on this. Project this. Up. What sketch is that even? There we go. We don't need that. We don't need that. My chickens are making noise. Actually pull that way back. It doesn't need to stick out that far. But it's fine. It'll be fine. I'm just like eyeballing this stuff because what just happened? Oh. Okay. Arc. Center point arc, I guess. Whoa! That looks. What happened? Let's just do a 3-point arc. Who cares? And then can we just. I don't know. I don't know yet. Extrude this. And this. To that point. We'll just do one side for now and then. Add more later. That's just a reference right now. Give me 1 second. I feel like I'll actually have room under the cam as well, so we could probably remove a bunch of this material on this backside, right? Because the cam, there's nothing actually back here. This is the 60 millimeter radius that we're kind of modeling the whole thing off of, and so obviously the front part of this beater is all, I can't do anything through there, but the backside is all empty. So I will have some room, hopefully. And theoretically, if I were to do... Nope. Can I make this come all the way through and actually cut through everything? No. Weird. And it's also weird that... whatever. Whatever. We're going to copy this over, but... It's just annoying because I used to be able to model 2 bodies in the same component and use the bodies to cut away from each other and stuff. And then I could then take the, I could turn one of those bodies into a component. I can't do that now for whatever reason. But that's okay. Oh, I think this is going to work really well, though. And I hate how it, like, disappears everything, like, really hardcore. Actually, let me look this up. I should probably figure this out. Bum 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 bum. Your experience defaults active component visibility by default. When you create a new component, automatically add ghosts. You can disable this feature so that all parts remain fully opaque. How to disable? Preferences, design. Design. Active component. I don't see that. I like this is it's so frustrating. Okay, here we go. Apply. That did nothing. Whatever. That's fine. So we want to project this, and we want to project this. And yeah. Okay, see what I'm thinking here? Huh? Let's just go with that, and then let's just get rid of that. That's fine. And also need a way to push this out of the way. So let me show you what I've kind of got a plan for. So basically, as this whole thing rotates, you can see this. So the green and the silver cams, they're all locked to the hexagonal axle. And so as you press the pedal, all of this rotates. The blue is on the hexagonal axle via this bearing. So the blue is actually free from the axle, but because of this piece, which will have a crossbar that runs across like this and then connects to an exact copy on this side, that crossbar will be pushing the blue. And so as you go for your strike, wham, and then at this point, this guy releases. This guy releases, and that allows the beater to hit and then bounce back. And you can see it'll go past that point. This should work. I feel pretty good about this working. This will be connected via a spring, a light spring, so that this always wants to return back. So then as soon as the blue cam rotates back into position, this guy is then free to snap back into place and re-engage there. Make sense? Make sense? Nobody's here. Where's my friends at? Where's my friends at? But the issue I'm having right now is I need this to connect to this via an axle here. And I need that to connect with a bolt. So I'm thinking, can I actually delete this? Oops. You got it, bro. You got it, computer. Nice. Am I going to be able to... remove this chunk of material from all of this? I think so. So let's do that now. So let's get here. Let's sketch on this surface, project this, project this. Extrude. Oh my God, what is happening? Because we don't need any of that there. Oh shoot. That's the bearing. So obviously we need some material there. I should have seen that. Let's give it, what do we want? Like maybe like at least 3 mils, I think. God, why is this being so picky? Okay, that's gonna work, I think. Might be a little bit slippy here still, but we're gonna go with this for now. Okay, I gotta turn off all these sketches. I'm getting so confused here. See, I would like a nice solid chunk of material between all this. Oh, no. .35. So we can do like a nice fat 1/4 inch screw there. Right, 6.35 is a 1/4 inch? I don't know. It's a standard size at least. combine, did it? Or did it? I don't know. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? So now this can still pivot out of the way. Plenty of room for this to swing. Okay. So at that point it contacts. Totally vibe. Totally vibe designing on this. Oh, shoot. Can you hear my chickens? They'd be crazy. Oh, I did the wrong side though. But should be okay. No, it's not okay. This is all gonna make sense, I promise. Nope, wrong. That's so annoying. Like, why? Why'd you parallelize? Actually, this is important for me to understand. Does it look like that? Oh, okay. There we go. There's plenty of room for our blue guy to pass through, right? Ooh, yeah. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. So the blue guy's free to pass through as far as we want. Like, well, not as far as we want, but oh no. It only really goes to that point, doesn't it? Oh, not even that point. We can go until it hits the screw, really. It's right there. This will all make sense. This will all make sense in due time. So let's edit this guy again. Capture position. We want to sketch on this surface probably, and we want to project. Oh, what? Capture position. We want to sketch on this plane. We want to project this guy. here to like here, I guess. Tangent this to this. Give me 1 second. Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Got some G cheese. Got some G cheese from the wife. Why isn't this working? What am I trying to do? I'm trying to cut a slot away from this. Oh, my sketch plane's here? Well, that's helpful, I suppose. No, that's not helpful. Project. There we go. Finish sketch. Hide the body. Hide the body. Extrude. Why is this not allowing me to select this? Oh, there we go. This should be a closed. God, I'm so frustrated right now. Yeah, I need to remove material here. I need to remove material here. And I should probably do it for the full length, just so I'm... Okay, I'm going to eat this on stream while we discuss this. So, I can probably bring these in half the distance. Finish this circle so I have a hinge point. That's all fine. I think that'll work. Just use one long screw that goes through this whole thing. It'll be nice and solid. The blue is intersecting with this, but there's not much I can take away from the blue at this point. Because I'm going to need good meat around this bearing. But I can take it away from our silver guy, because our silver guys... Actually, let's make it yellow. Our yellow guy is quite visible, or it's quite strong. Now it's visible because I made it yellow. Now, how am I going to actuate the yellow guy? How am I going to actuate that? This is such a cool mechanism. I'm worried it's going to be like too niche. But I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be cool. All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in. So what's the problem here is... Okay, why didn't this work? This is so annoying. Preferences. Active component visibility. Uncheck the box. The active component visibility was already unchecked. When checking it, nothing changed. Pinpointing the culprit. Pinpoint it for me, baby. Pinpoint that culp. Pinpoint that culp. Feeling loopy today. When you mentioned that's a missing puzzle, you're likely using Fusion's edit in place feature, which allows you to edit external or linked components directly within the assembly. When you are in an edit in place session, Fusion completely ignores the global preference you just unchecked and uses a completely separate visibility menu. Edit in place. Yeah. When you activate a component on a blue frame appears around it, you're in edit in place. Look at edit in place menu centered at the very top of your canvas screen. Oh, I guess I should uncheck that then. So let's just edit this. Capture position. Visibility control. Style. Wireframe. Style. Shaded with visible edges. Style. Wireframe with visible edges. Let's do that. I like that. That's the most visible. Okay, I guess. So we want to sketch on this plane. I need to project this shape. Okay. And then can I isolate this? God, it's so annoying. I can't isolate stuff. Why? I need this, only this chunk. What's happening here? I see. Let's get back on this. And then we need to project this. Nice. Okay, that works. That works. So there it contacts. That's not enough. So capture position. Sketch here. Boom, 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 boom. Extrude. Boom. There we go. Finish. So now, blue guy. Obviously, when that's... Oh, no. Wait, when did this mess up so badly? Look at this. That's like totally in the way. When did that happen? I thought we figured this out, but I guess not. I think I'm just going to have to make it so that this guy is small. It should reference that. Oh, it does. I do this every time. I do this every time. Actually, I don't want it to touch either, right? So I need to... go like that. And then maybe we'll just go to there. And maybe we'll just go to like there for now. Finish. So real thin axle there, but I think that's okay. Because then yeah. Oh, I What is this? So confused. That's this chunk here. Where's this? I gotta get rid of that piece, don't I? Ooh, that worked nice. Okay, so where are we at here? Plenty of room. So let's say that's there. And that sits there. Boom. I'll probably have to extend this out, actually. That's not looking very good. But theoretically, this hits, boom. This disengages, boom. This can fall back now. Boom. All the way through. We can now adjust how long, because this is more than enough of a stroke here to get back to this point. That's enough of a stroke. Way more than enough. And then when this returns back, then this can return back underneath. And it's ready for another. It's ready for another stroke. Okay, so that's our mechanism. That's our mechanism. It's feeling good. Now I need to figure out 12.75. Was that the whole? Yes. That's my whole bearing thickness. So how big is this? 4.25 mils. I'm just going for it. I'm sorry I'm doing a bad job of explaining this, but it's hard to explain when I'm sort of like figuring it out as we go. Let's go with 1, because I know it's just 1. Bearings are super precise. So. Okay, and then we want to go minus 4.25. That'll give us enough room for the bearing to sit back. Right? Was it? Yeah, 4.25K. So the bearing will sit far back in there. Okay. This is all getting pretty good. Now I need to connect this to this properly. So I think what I can do is let me inspect this 10 mils. Okay, so we'll bump that back 5 mils. That's nice and easy. And 5 mils is a pretty good thickness, I think. It's a pretty good thickness. Boom. Boom. Like that. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to actually change this. Let's only do -4. Let's give ourselves some room. Why don't we? -4. -1. Boom. -1. Boom. Oh, that's why. There we go. Because I kept parts. Okay, now we can move. Cancel. Finish. We can move. I can move this over by 1 milli. We can move this over by 1 milli. So we got lots of space in between. Yo, Psycho Ruby Gamer. I think we're doing good stuff here. We're getting somewhere. It's a cool mechanism. It's going to be fairly compact, and I'm liking actually this multicolor situation we got going on. So I'll probably print these in different colors so you can really see what's going on. But yeah, I think it's going good. I think it's going good. How are you doing? Yeah, Ruby would be great. Ruby, I would love that. I would love that. Oh, that doesn't quite work, does it? Awesome, good to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming a lot today. Nice. I just had a grilled cheese. My wife brought me a grilled cheese. I will be streaming like all day today now. Oh, what am I doing? I'm so dumb right now. Extrude to that point, 5 mils, but let's do a new body. Great. What is this? Oh, move this. Create copy. Move this here. Point to point. Okay. There's been nobody else on the stream yet. I've been talking super quiet. Just because I'm like a little loopy today, so but now that you're here, I will talk normal volume. I will talk normal volume, I promise. I promise. Then connect these two. Don't keep tools. Kind of cold right now. Why am I cold? Combine these two. Boom, boom. Okay, that's looking pretty fresh. Let's add a little Philly here. Boom, boom. That's looking pretty fresh. Okay, good. Good. So, this is what we have so far. So, zooming out a little bit. It all fits inside the same size as the original cam that's on the kick drum. When you do a strike, the whole thing rotates. So green discs and the silver disc are going to be directly coupled to the axle here. So as you press down on the pedal, the whole thing rotates. The blue guy is independent, but it's being pushed by the yellow guy, which will be on a hinge here, attached to these green guys. As you push forward, we'll get to like this point or this point, and then we'll need to add some sort of trigger mechanism where the yellow guy moves out of the way like that. And that will allow the beater to hit, strike, and then pass back behind the yellow guy and end up like here. And then we can catch it at this point. And then when you release your foot from the pedal, the entire mechanism can rotate back. The blue guy stays up, and then the yellow guy can slide back underneath to be re-triggered again. So I think it's all working. Now I just need to figure out how to I need to figure out how I'm going to actuate the jack here. So I need it. The problem is there's not a lot of there's a lot of mounting places on the actual axle for this, obviously, which is nice, but I need the release mechanism independent of the axis. And I could just add some stuff to the frame, which we might end up doing, but I want to see if there's a better way I can do this. Let's see if there's a better way. Sounds good. We'll see you in a minute. I might have to get a fire going. It's a nice day today, but I'm cold. I'm going to just open my door. I'm going to get a fire going. Hang tight. Maybe I'll write on the chat here. getting my fire going, 'cause my hands are cold and sunny outside, but in here almost there. That should do it. Yeah, my studio here is 100% wood stove heated, so it's really nice. Nice dry heat, which is great for the filament and everything, but a little inconvenient, a little bit inconvenient, but it's. I'm not complaining. I like it. I like it. Okay, so how do I trigger this now? Yeah, it used to be. I believe it was the original little building on this property before they built the main house. Um, it's a glorified shed. It's a cinder block building. Um, it's only like 500 square feet. And when we first moved here, we were living in here as well because the basement, we had to renovate the basement before we could move in there. Um, but even this thing required a lot of work to get going, and it's just like still needs a lot of work, but I want to really freshen it up, make it a nice studio at some point, but it's just a box with heat and lighting that I can work in. So nothing special, but I really enjoy it. Okay, I think what I need to do first and foremost is I want to bring back some of this. just do that, I guess. Okay. Two sides. Oh, shoot, I can't do that. Okay. Let's just make it a new body then. Yes. Sorry, I'm whispering again. Whispering again. It's hard for me not to whisper sometimes, but a lot of the times when I'm whispering, I'm saying absolutely nothing important. Boom, 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 boom. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So this is where we are at. I can throw a little Philly. Oh. There we go. I think this is going to work. So I just need a mechanism that then pulls this out of the way at the exact right time. So I could have basically a string that comes down and connects to the frame somehow. I can have a backstop on the frame here with a little rod that pushes this forward. The nice thing with the string, though, is it'll only act on it at the point we actually need it to act on it. And then I can really adjust that. And there are little mounting points that would be useful because I need to be able to adjust that. Alternatively, I mean, I'm probably going to need to... Okay, I think we can kind of like... Maybe this is a good place to actually print this and see what we can do with this. I'm going to add one more thing to this design. Or to this part here. I'm just going to add a hole that goes through this so I can either stick a screw. Oops. Shoot. Or like a nail or something. So maybe 1.5. Okay. So this should all work, and then I need to figure out how to actually take this thing apart. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to assemble this. So I'm gonna print it all out of just like gray PLA for now. Just while we're in prototyping stage, I can print all these parts at once. At once. So let's start. I should probably label all these. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying that I have to go into this to do this. So I'm going to call this jack cam left. That's the main cam. Jack cam right. I think that's all I need from this one. And then this will be hammer cam. Oops. And this will be bearing fitting. Oh, and actually what I'm going to do instead of this is let's extrude this all the way down through. That'll just be a pressure fitting for now. Okay, and then our jack. Save as mesh. We're going to do a new folder. Key mech kick pedal. Open, save. Hammer cam. Bearing fitting. Jack cam. Jack cam. So we'll get. What? Why did it fail? Why? Did this even work? It might have worked, because sometimes it works. No. God, that's annoying. Hold on, I'm going to save this maybe. Key, mech, kick, pedal. Failed to translate the current document. I gotta look this up. Now it's failing to export STL. I'm using the right click in browser method and I'm getting error. Frustration. Frustration station. This is unusual. Save as mesh happens entirely on a local machine. Target the body instead of the component. Sometimes right-clicking the parent component fails because fusion. Okay. I just gotta shut this down. It looks like. Let's save this as modular keyboard. Gonna have to reset Fusion, it seems. Mini kick V2. Mini kick tongue tests. I don't even fully printed key kick pedal. No. Okay, so while this is happening, yeah, errors, especially, and even Gemini is like, oh, that doesn't make sense that it's not working. So that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling after doing all that work. But it's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I really hope this works. I think this will be so cool. So cool. I think this will be so cool. But you never really know. That's why I'm trying to get to the point of actually being able to test these parts in hand as quickly as possible. Okay, reopening Fusion here. So, yeah, and then I also gotta start working on. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I'm just gonna do some housekeeping while I'm here. Because I gotta get this next video out ASAP. Oh my god, everything's giving me a problem today. API at Shaper Utilities from. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, it updated again. Gosh, I love updates. I love Keymac kick pedal. Physical prints, here we come. And I think I'll make these pretty quick. 4 references are out of date. That's okay. I think that's okay. Save as mesh. Please work. Oh, I think it worked. That's so nice. I think it worked. Okay. Bearing fitting. Save. Save as mesh. Save. Oh, don't need to worry about that one. And then our jack, save as mesh. The jack's going to be kind of a weird print because I don't think there's going to be a real good way to set it up. But let's go with a new project. Now, who needs that? We're going to grab all of these. Open. No. Auto. And arrange. Spread them out a little bit. Don't really like when they're that close together. Wait, what is going on with the bearing one? The bearing one's wrong. Oh, I accidentally exported the actual bearing, not the bearing fitting. This is what we need. Wait, is that on this? Yeah. Okay. Bearing fitting. Save as mesh. Okay. Bearing fitting. Replace it? Yes. How's your experience with the HDD been? I want an enclosed printer, but don't know what's good. I have loved it. I'm definitely not, like, when it comes to 3D printing, I'm not like a tinkerer. I don't like to have to tinker with my machines. Um, it's a tool for me. It's not something that the 3D printing itself isn't really my hobby. I like using it to do my other hobbies. So for that, in that sense, it's like an appliance. I feel like I'm using an appliance with it, which is great. The dual nozzle situation is a big deal for me. I haven't been using it too much yet, but I plan to with these next couple videos. Because being able to mix soft material with hard material or use different support materials going to be hugely beneficial. So I'm a big fan. I haven't had any major malfunctions. And I've had it for quite a bit of time, and I've been kind of powering through it. I don't know how good Bambu's like support is. It's gonna be different for me because I have like a Bambu guy. So I get like a direct source for support, I suppose, but I've never needed to use it. They're actually sending me an X2D, which is like an H2D Lite. So I'll let you know how that is, because kind of does all the same things, just with a smaller build plate, and it can't go as hot. But it's like a third of the price or something like that, which is wild. Okay, so we're gonna print this. It's only gonna be an hour, so we'll be able to test this today. Yeah, and I did some modifications on mine. Like I had to put a riser because the PPSCF filament I was using was so brittle, and it's my fault because I didn't have a way I could dry it properly, so it was like more brittle than it should be, and the PTFE tubes inside the H2D, because of the lid was so close to the top, it kept snapping. So I built a little riser, so there's like a little bit of hold on. Yeah. Oh my god, it's hard. Yeah, right there. That's like, it lifts the lid up a little bit. Nozzle. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The nozzle clogging isn't a big deal because it has like a cold pull program on it. So if you've ever had to do a cold pull on a printer before, it's like a really manual process. But with these printers, it's not. It's very it's like automated. It tells you exactly what to do. And because of the screen and like the software on it, it's just like it walks you through everything. You don't really have to know anything about printing, which is, for me, it's a good thing. I know a lot of people really like to be able to go deep into the printers. Like I have a Prusa Core 1 as well, and it's nice. I think it's a nice looking machine. I like the way it looks better, but it's like a totally different experience. And I have the ability to really go into all of the things. What do you do with print? That's my big concern because I don't have any. I haven't done anything yet. The H2D does have like a filter system built into it, but it's not amazing. I usually, if I'm printing anything that I don't want to be in the room with, I'll just leave and then I'll just air it out before I get in. I am setting up. I do have a corner in the studio where my fridge used to be, and it actually sticks out from the building. And so I have all the parts to do it. I'm gonna set up a little print corner that's fully ventilated, and it'll be its own separate little microclimate. I just haven't got around to doing that yet, but that's my plan. I do wanna be able to like print ABS and other crazy materials while I'm in the room with it. But I honestly, like, I don't really smell anything. I'm not the most cautious person when it comes to that kind of stuff. So probably should be, especially now that I'm printing a lot more. I should take that a little bit more seriously, but I haven't been. And there is actually a hole, because there used to be a fireplace here, a chimney. So there is actually a hole here that I could vent right out of if I wanted to. Yeah, I think a HEPA filter would probably be good. My understanding, the way these enclosed printers work, at least like the H2D, and I think the X2D is going to be the same, is unless you're doing like PLA where you need active cooling, it kind of like recirculates the air internally, and so you don't notice anything until the print is done when you open the door, and then that releases all the stuff. So I'm gonna have it in my room or our family room. Yeah, I think a HEPA filter might be the best way to go, or just a window if you can, like a portable air conditioner situation, just have it blown out a window. That might work too. But yeah, I just realized, is there any supports on this? Maybe this doesn't even need supports. Well, that'd be cool, because it'll just bridge this. All right, let's see. Let's see. That might be okay. That might print fine without supports. I actually don't really know how that's possible. Okay, yeah, it's gonna bridge it. Nice. So this is only going to be an hour long. So I was thinking I need to figure out how to take. Yeah, I think so too. This printer's. I think most printers nowadays are really good at bridging. Yeah, I have a Prusa Core 1. I really like it. Like, it feels like a really high quality piece of gear. Like, the parts are all nice parts, but I've just had a lot more issues with it. Like, it's not nearly as smart. The big thing that honestly I didn't realize I needed so much is the ability to monitor my prints from my phone. Because a lot of times I'll set my print, and since it's not in my house, I go home, and I want to be able to check it all the time. And then if something does go wrong and I'm not even checking it, it'll usually catch it and stop the print. Whereas multiple times on my Prusa, it fails. And the Prusa fails. I've had way less luck with the Prusa as far as failures go. It fails like 25% of the time, which is crazy. And maybe I just have a lemon or something, or I'm just not tuning it properly. But I never tune any of my printers. But the worst is when it fails and then it just keeps powering through that print, and I've had to like disassemble the whole heat block and stuff, and that just takes away so much of the time that I could be using to either keep printing or designing. So it's one of those things. I love Prusa as a company. I think they're an awesome company. I like their whole thing, and I look forward to them manufacturing in the States and stuff, but it's a different experience for a guy that doesn't want to be tinkering with printers. I think if you had like a farm setup and you wanted to be like totally off grid, like not using any cloud setups and stuff, the Prusa would be a good option if you're good with printers and you can like fine tune them and have them. I think they're really reliable in that sense. They're kind of like a workhorse thing, but there is like tuning involved. And like also when I got mine, it would not start prints. It kept failing the the bed leveling thing. And I don't know if I ended up doing a custom G code to stop that, and then I haven't updated the firmware since. So I'm imagining they fixed that, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna try and find an Allen key that fits this. Feels wrong. I don't want to do that. Oh, that feels right. Nice. Yeah, for me, I just the best printer for me is the one that's going to let me just build the stuff I need to build without having to fuss around too much. And obviously, like, features are nice. If like the Bamboo failed a bunch and the Prusa was way more reliable, I would probably forego the special features that the Bamboo has. But honestly, the Bamboo fails less and has all those special features. So, and they're cheaper. But, you know, there's obviously that huge debate with everything going on anyways. So it's a hard it's kind of a hard decision to make for a lot of people, but for me it's pretty easy, I think. Okay, so that's good. How does this come apart, y'all? Yeah, and I don't think there's too much to worry about in terms of breaking either of the printers. I mean, I guess the Bamboo is probably like way harder to fix if there's any really significant issues. But that's kind of the only issue. But I've never had any significant issues. I did have at this one point my printer the H2D was making this weird kind of whiny sound, and I thought it was this fan issue, which like the bearing on one of the hot end fans can go bad, and apparently you have to take the whole thing apart in order to replace it. And the hot end on it is so complicated. But it stopped making the sound, so I think I'm in the clear, but that was definitely like something I was not looking forward to having to do if that was the case. Okay, so I think I can just push this bearing out of the way here. Just need something tiny. The mistake I always make with this kind of stuff is I'm not filming while I'm doing this. Like, I'm kind of concerned about the fact that I'm taking this apart now, and I don't have, like, for my video, I don't really have a clip of this pedal not taken apart. And so I kind of have to think about that, because now that I'm taking it apart, am I really going to want to reassemble it later? I don't know. I don't know. But that's also why I've been live streaming, because I want to be able to pull clips from these live streams. Why aren't you popping out, yo? What's going on? There we go. Now I can just rip them off YouTube after the fact. I appreciate it though. It's actually the reason I started doing the live streams is because I wanted to capture this stuff, but I didn't want to actually film and record all of it because that would be just like terabytes and terabytes of memory, and ain't nobody got the cache for that. So I can just upload it on YouTube and it's there forever, and then I can grab it when I need it. It's not the highest quality, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, like, at all. You know what? I'm going to just take a picture of this so I don't forget how this goes together. Okay. Look at that. Disassembled. So the hammer comes off. Do I have my keys on me? No, I don't. .3D printed drum key. I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, that one was really loose. So that's all taken apart. We can leave this like that because this will all stay the same. But this guy I need to take. I was building a fence this morning and pounding in posts with a sledgehammer. And now my fingers are so sore. I'm really feeling them right now as I'm trying to take this whole thing apart. My 3D printed drum key did not work for this. Okay, that's all disassembled. Disassembled. So, that's easy. I'm happy with how easy that was. So I think while we're printing, we can start looking at IWDs at work. I'm surprised. Oh yeah, what do you do for work? Oh gosh, sorry. Sleepy boy. God, that'd be so cool if this all just works. That would be so cool if this all just works. Oh, nice. Standing all day. I used to work like retail where I would have it was like you weren't supposed to sit. And you know, I'm not super old. I was definitely a lot younger back then, and even standing all day was not fun for me. I love a good sit. I love a good sit. I'm a big proponent of sitting. Okay. It would be so much easier if I just designed this whole kick drum pedal thing, but maybe I can just design the frame part. Thing is, it's not really like... Yeah, I hear ya. So I'm wondering if it's worth designing these into the model. It would make figuring out the damping mechanism a little bit easier. But it's like there's like a slight taper to it. It's kind of an unusual shape. Nice. Uh-oh. Hold on, I'm having an issue with my... What is happening? Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Can you still hear me? Is the chat still going? I think I'm having internet issues, but... Oh, yeah. My internet crashed. I might actually take a break anyways, because since we got everything printing, pedals all taken apart. Here, I might just write this out because I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go reset my router. Go reset my route. Oh, we're back again. All right. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. My internet, yeah. My internet was, I got a warning that it was real bad. I'm on Starlink, so it's kind of spotty sometimes. It's not very consistent, and I'm also kind of far away from the router. But yeah, I might actually take this opportunity to go grab a bite, check on things in the house while this is printing. What time is it right now? 2:15. Yeah, so I'll be back at 3, I guess. If you're gonna still be around, that would be cool. And maybe we can, at that point, we can start assembling this thing, see if it works. And yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna take a bit of a break, and then we'll start up again at 3. All right, take it easy.